And welcome to another episode of the Two Fans Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joshua Ament.
And I'm your other co-host, Ari Jesselson.
And today we've got another sort of fun, unusual episode for you today, Ari.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk about sports video game series or solo games that we think deserve to have a comeback. Obviously, there are a lot of our favorite games that haven't been made in quite a long time. And also coming back to how NCAA football is coming back, we think, hey, maybe these games have a shot, and we like to just talk about it.
Yeah, all right. So I will say, since this was 100% your idea, I will give you all the credit for that. Why don't you start us off?
Yes, and I'm just going to go off with one of my favorite sport games. It's one of my favorite PS2 games ever, NBA Street, my bad. NBA Street Volume 2 is one of my favorite games. It's more of an arcadey street ball basketball thing. And we just don't have that anymore. We don't have arcade basketball games where the main premise is doing tricks. You can't do dunks from the three-point line in 2K. You can't do these crazy moves. And I just think we need arcade basketball. We need more arcadey games. We need more where it's not about simulations or realism, where we need more where I could be taking the craziest thing we could think about and making it happen.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you on that sort of arcade basketball style, because we don't see that a lot nowadays. And of course, there are a couple of games that I would definitely point to and say, yeah, it wasn't realistic basketball, but that's not what I was going for, and I had fun playing it. One of the biggest ones that honestly I didn't even realize was sort of defunct, but like until just a couple of minutes ago, I didn't even realize that NBA Jam has not made a game since 2011. Man, I just remember playing that like I think on my iPod in second grade, like ever since, and like it was fun.
Yeah, we just need to be about first year boomer. Second of all, yeah, we just need more arcadey We just need more arcadey sport games. We don't need the simulated realism the entire time. We have to remember, yeah, these are games. Let's have the fun with it. Let's see what we do. Let's see how absurd and abstract and how crazy it could be. Another game that I think should come back on the PS2 also, ESPN football or 2K football. Obviously, when you look at the gameplay, when you look how it is, it's rooted in customization and realism. There are plays in that game which don't work in Madden's right now. One play is you can't pass over you can't do passes over a defensive back. Like when you're running for the ball in a slant, you can throw it over the defensive back's head and make the receiver catch for it. That's something that can't happen in newer Madden games. The fluidity, the grounded in realism, and how real it is to the game, how it's basically a one-for-one. Anything can happen. And there's just so much more that I'm not even talking about, because you could hire coaches you could pay players to get out of retirement. You can make them coaches. There's just so much. You can relocate teams. You can make fans. You can do anything you want as long as it's in the game. Anything goes. You can it's a whole lot of customization, whole lot of realism. It's fluid football that's fun to the max. And I think something like that should come back.
Well, that's a pretty big turn from we don't need simulation. We have arcade, but of course, yeah, they're two separate categories with the arcade and the simulation. And it's great to have good games for both of them. And I definitely agree that we need a new simulation game to sort of end the Madden monopoly. Of course, EA has the exclusive license to simulation football with NFL teams, players, logos, etc. So 2K hasn't made a football game since 2K8, but even then, that still has such a cult following because of the gameplay. If you see like places like the Simulation Football League, it's still going strong. 8 years in, using that same engine. So you can. Yep. No, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. 2K5 and 2K8, the football games, they still have updated rosters to this day. So you could play as the 2020 or soon the 2021 rosters in a game from 2005, 2008. That just shows how much staying power and how loved these games are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one more thing you kind of hit on before was just how customizable it is. That's one thing that I really love to have, like whether it's arcade, whether it's simulation. I just love to have the ability to customize and 2K with I mean from the NBA 2K series, you can see that they know how to make a game customizable, be it relocation, team branding, team rosters. In my leagues, you can change rules, everything. There's just like so much that can personalize and make your game so unique from any other.
Oh, yeah, 100% agree with you. Did you ever make a custom team in any sport games?
I did that. I mean, honestly, that was my probably one of my favorite things to do in like 2K17, where like I would honestly like just I would like sometimes I would relocate like half the teams to fit in like places that like, wait, why don't they have a team? And then why does Milwaukee have a team or something? Not to say Milwaukee doesn't deserve a team for any Wisconsinians. Um, but, I mean that's I've made a couple of like team logos, uploaded them to 2K. I've done that. And I don't know, it was fun, it was rewarding. I liked it. I would love to see that again, that same sort of customization also in. And I know that they're starting to do this with MLB The Show, but I would love to see the return of MLB 2K, not just for the combination of that customization with baseball, but also just to have a baseball game that's not exclusive to PlayStation.
Well, what's it called? MLB The Show is gonna be on Xbox and Switch next year, I believe. The 2021 is going to be on all three consoles. But I do agree with you. 2K Baseball has a special place in everyone's heart. It's such a great game. And just should have showed this before. If you ever made a custom team in any sports game, let us know down below what you called them and what fun gimmick you did with them. I don't know if I can say this, but my basketball team was the Sesame Street Junkies, and I just tried to get the worst players from the draft and just build it up. But let us know down below if you ever made a custom team.
No, no, and I had something in my head that I wanted to say, that then your Sesame Street that
Junkies.
took it out of it. Yeah.
My bad about that.
Let me try to remember.
We were
What
talking
did you
about.
say before?
I was saying that MLB The Show is going to be on all three consoles.
Oh yes, you did. I didn't realize that. So that is certainly good to hear, but especially for a sport like baseball uh, that needs to put such an emphasis on a younger base, having a more accessible video game series could definitely help with that. If only like no matter how big or small, it can't hurt. And just having it on one console for too long.
Definitely got to agree with you on all of that, and it's just going to be interesting to see how everything comes together. Another game I think should come back. It's not really it's more of a re-release to modern consoles. Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. Come on, they're sports games.
I will not deny that. I've had, and I will talk a little bit later about how much like nostalgia hour, how much like a ton of fun I had playing certain sports games, but Wii Sports and especially Wii Sports Resort, we're right up there with the best of them.
Exactly. I mean, they're always they're fun games, even to go back to today. And it's just crazy how I guess Nintendo never. It's always weird to me that they never re-release a lot of these games. And even if they don't add anything, they still have so many behind a wall.
Sorry, I just actually do think that they did re-release Wii Sports to the Wii U.
We don't talk about Wii Sports Club or the Wii U.
Was not aware. Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm joking. But yeah, they did release to the Wii U, but not that many people did have a Wii U. I think with the incredible sales of the Switch and the old times fans from those games from that era, that people would definitely like to buy it. Look what happened with Mario 35th Anniversary Edition, when all they did was add the three of the four 3D games, not including Odyssey, and only added a soundtrack for them. People flocked them and just kind of bought them at release, even though they knew what it was. I'm saying that Nintendo could do the same for Wii Sports Resort, give it online, and maybe do a few more Mii stuff. And I think they have a great product on their hand, but I just want them to do something more with it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Of course, with especially Resort, where you have like 16 different sports and however many game modes. Like, I mean, first of all, just the replay value on that. That's another thing I like with the replay value. We just, I don't know, like just so much to do. Would love to be able to jump into to that game again, like in HD. That same. I mean, of course, it's never the same the second time, but it's definitely similar when you come back to it after a while.
Yeah, it's always going to be different, but it makes it more accessible. What about you? What other games would you like to see back?
Yeah, well, a lot of and I know I said like a lot of these games, like I said, yeah, I've had so much fun playing them as a kid, and I'll just talk about like a lot of the Mario sports games were on those lists, and you see now they have on the Switch you have Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, and that's great and all. But they seem to have left a lot of the titles from the Wii and from the DS in the dust. And one of those, which I mentioned yesterday, was Mario Super Sluggers. Oh man, and I will praise that game to the end of the world and back, because I mean, it's. I mean, first of all, it's baseball with Mario and co. Cannot imagine what second grade me was thinking then, but had to have been something good. It's baseball with good enough detail. The character roster was amazing. They had King K. Rool before he was in Smash. And the single player sort of adventure mode missions, those were, I remember them being fun. Of course, you have a lot of different stadiums, a lot of different customization with innings, and then do you want items, chemistry, all that good stuff. Man, what more can I say?
Exactly. We just need a new Mario baseball game, and that's kind of all. It's Mario, it's baseball, combine two great things. A lot of people did have great memories with it, and stages were fun and creative. I would just play on Mario Stadium or DK Jungle a lot, but a lot of people played on other stuff, and it's just good to have sports games. Like another game staying with Mario, Mario Strikers, soccer game.
That was literally the one I was going to talk about next.
Okay, you talk.
No, go ahead.
No, that's all I was going to say. That's kind of what we need: a soccer game and a baseball game.
Yeah, Mario Strikers 2. I will admit that I will admit that I haven't played this a lot. I think I only played it for the first time like about a year ago. But I've heard nothing but good things about it. Of course, like it's fast-paced soccer game. The dark and gritty art style surprisingly works well. I mean, it's just again like a pure like arcade style soccer that we kind of do need, because I can't really think of any sort of arcade type soccer games that haven't been killed by Adobe Flash.
Yeah, I think that's the big problem. There are either cheap made mobile games killed by Adobe or older games. But we've been talking about serious stuff. Let's get into something really stupid that I kind of want to see back. Mega Man Soccer on the SNES. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't. Please explain.
So Mega Man, the super fighting robot blue guy in Smash Bros. Yeah. So he had a lot of games in the 90s and early 2000s because he had a lot of side games, spin-offs, the whole nine. And one of them on the Super Nintendo was a soccer game with Mega Man. And I just think that's so stupid and funny that I just want to see something like that back. Google it. It's just like 11 Mega Mans on one side of the thing, and they're all just playing soccer, and it's just so stupid that I just want to see something like it back. I'm telling you, you should Google it.
I will do so right when we're done recording. One last game I had in that little nostalgia hour. It was kind of a 2-in-1. One is Mario Hoops 3-on-3, and then kind of as an extension Mario Sports Mix, because the two are pretty connected to one another. Mario Hoops 3-on-3 was a Mario basketball game for the DS. Mario Sports Mix was kind of that for the Wii, but with hockey, dodgeball, and volleyball also added. Man, I'll talk. Yeah, basketball too, but 4 in total. I'll start with Hoops 3-on-3. I mean, again, like it's an arcade type basketball game. It would sell well, just like NBA Jam, because again, who doesn't like NBA Jam? You also just had Final Fantasy characters mixed in. You had Ninja, Black Mage, White Mage, Kakutar, Moogle. Those sort of slime in there. You just like I didn't, of course, like what fourth grade me didn't know any of those characters, but it was just so random, not unwelcome. And again, it's like especially with Mario Hoops 3-on-3, you had customization with length of periods, with how many. You had 6 different difficulty levels. The courts were all so unique. And then with Mario Sports Mix, just one more thing that they didn't that they sort of expanded on was the replay value of the single player campaigns with tournament mode. Was just like you can after playing it one time, you can play it a second time and then unlock like sort of different paths away from your standard bracket that just like lead you to random missions, or you can unlock certain characters early. I think otherwise you have to play like a certain amount of games or something. But I mean, I've had it since like 4th grade, and I still haven't unlocked everything.
Yeah, there's just a lot of fun to be had in these games. Obviously, they're not as in depth per se as a lot of the mainline games like Super Sluggers, which is solely on baseball. But it never had to be it. It was its own thing. Hoops was its own thing. Super Slugger, Super Mix was its own thing, and they're just a lot of fun, even by yourself, with a lot of the unlockables, as you mentioned. Just seeing the weird teams you can make up with. It was just a whole lot of fun just to see what it can do and how you could play it. And I gotta agree with you on that one. Another game I would like to see come back, and just for those who don't follow the Instagram, I left a poll, I left a question thing asking people what game series you'd like to come back, and 2 people said this also. College basketball. Obviously, we have 2K basketball, but that's kind of all we have. With the resurgence of NCAA football, who's to say we can't get an NCAA basketball game? And just like how 2K is doing it now, where you could build your own teams, go from the draft, why can't I have that as a college player, as a college coach, and build up recruits? Who's to say I can't do that? You already have all these simulated guys, all these fake guys for me to draft in the regular NBA. So why can't I do that in basketball? At very least, it's a reskin. It's a repaint of the game. Give us the customization that 2K is known for. Give us the player names that they're known for also. But I think that's a lot of things the fans want to see. Obviously, people like scouting and building teams up like that because people would say, oh, through the pros, it's so easy because you can throw the money out. But college, you just got to meet with the guys, see how they work, see the progress that it is. And also for a lot of the younger audience as us, we're going to college. It'd be something cool. It might just be something cool to see like that. Oh, we're in the same process as them. Let me see how it works out. And I just think it's a game series that has a lot of potential to come back. Just like the NCAA football games, NCAA basketball is in the same level as that in popularity. I think just recruiting is a big thing that people love, and at the end of the day, make it a repainting of normal 2K at very least, because it would work. Because 2K is known for, like I said before, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but they're known for the great customizations. You could just do that, give us the teams, and just give us what we have. Let us create anything we want to do, and it'll be just incredible to just have that.
Yeah, I will say again, like this is one thing we differ on. Well, I definitely understand the excitement to see, of course, the return of college football video games, and can see why people would want college basketball video games to return. I also just have to be like the kind of the realist here. That does realize, yeah, they went away for a good reason. If they do come back, the players who are a part of it, who are making the game marketable in the first place, should get paid. But once that happens, yeah, I absolutely see no reason why it shouldn't return. Again, with that ability to customize, to build it, literally build a team from the ground up in 4 years, and stuff like that. Like wow, like.
And something cool that you could do with it, just like how NCAA did it with the things, and then my player thing. Why not bring your college players over to the NBA in those respective draft classes? That would be something to connect the both games and make people, if they just want to play the college basketball, well, here's a reason to play NBA basketball now, because you want to see your players develop. If there's a player you're really attached to, you want to see their journey, create their journey. So it really is a win-win on their part. I agree with you. And I'm 100% that the players should be allowed to take endorsements and get deals. So when that happens, NCAA basketball got to come back. And also, I'd like to thank everyone who contributed to the Instagram post, giving us suggestions and names they'd like to talk about. If you don't follow it, please check it out, Two Fans Podcast. We have an Instagram, Twitter as well. So please check out the social medias.
Yes, and yes to all three of those. Would love to see once athletes are re-endorsed for NCAA games to come back. Thank you to the people who responded to our Instagram and follow our Instagram and our Twitter, Two Fans Podcast.
Just one more. One more thing also that I would kind of like to see back is more of the EA Big Series. For those who don't know, the EA Big Series was made by EA, obviously, but they made like more of the arcade sports games like NFL, NBA, and soccer street games, and those are just a whole lot of fun. Obviously, I'm a big fan of street ball and NBA Street, so I would just love to see a more arcadey spin on all this stuff again. And another thing that I think it might be harder to come back, I guess, but Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong Racing. Diddy Kong Racing was a game on the Nintendo 64 and then ported to the DS. It's basically Mario Kart, but 3D aspects. You could ride a plane, boat, and car. You have different power-ups. It's a whole new racing game, and we don't really see that with Nintendo anymore, or anyone where we have more than one racing game per platform. And Donkey Kong Racing was going to build on that. It was going to be for the N64, but the problem was that Rare, the people who made the game, were bought out by Microsoft, and Microsoft did nothing with it. But just see a whole new aspect of racing in Nintendo, see what they can do now with it. Because 3D racing, multiple karts, and it's still fun to pick up today. I think it's a better game than Mario Kart DS or a lot of the other Mario Karts. So I would just like to see other people also have the chance to play the game.
Yeah, a couple more things that I'm realizing when looking back at what I wanted to talk about. I'll just kind of go back a little bit. One more thing I do feel like is kind of overlooked nowadays in a lot of popular sports games is again the single player, at least the sort of managerial like build a team simulate a season. I feel like that I would like to see that sort of expanded upon, go into some more detail if possible from existing franchises that already have a mode like that kind of built in. But I'm like one of those people who wants to not just play the game, but sort of but play the game about the game and sort of like, again, just like know how to build a team, build that team, and then see the fruits of my labor is very rewarding. And one more thing about with 2K, with MLB 2K, because one more flagship 2K thing is the My Career. And while I will admit that for a basketball game, this story is very, very linear. With as far as it goes for baseball, with getting drafted by a team and working your way up through the minors, that sort of that linear story, again, while I don't like it 100%, could work a lot better in that kind of format.
Yeah, and it'll be awesome to see different aspects of it. Obviously, in the past, there were games like NFL Head Coach, where you become the coach of any team you want, and you kind of build it up. You don't get to play, obviously, and just call all the shots. Something that would be cool. But also having the tool for that has the ability to kind of create new fans, see how it is, and get more into how it actually works. I forgot who it was, but there was a NASCAR driver who said that he learned a lot of stuff from playing NASCAR video games. So having that opportunity to just grow on stuff that you love, or even learn new stuff on just video games or sport games, it's interesting to see. I do have one more game, and you have to hear me out on this because you're gonna have to hear me out on this.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone wants to make the best of the best. Everyone wants to create the new Sopranos, The Office, The Last of Us. They always want to be the best. What about having something to be the worst, to be the funniest, something so stupid that it's funny? No one wants to make stuff like that anymore. And I know art is subjective, music, movies, TV, sport, video games, all that is subjective to everyone. So everyone's trying to create the best. Everyone always wants to put a lot of the effort in. But that's why we don't have any more of those so bad it's good on purpose movies or parody movies. That's why I think NBA Elite 11 should be released to the public. It is so bad. That game was rigged with so much bugs. There were so many problems with it. It was so bad, so broken. It wasn't even released out. It wasn't even released despite the demo being available. It was so bad that a game finished was not released in the year 2010. A sports game, nevertheless, was not released. That's why I think it should come back. It is so bad. It is so stupid. It is just terrible to play. It's such a mess that we need something so bad just to have the experience and laugh it off with a few buddies.
A very interesting proposition. I don't know how to respond to that.
You could respond by agreeing with me and saying that's a great idea and that the sweater looks good.
It is an idea. The hoodie does look good. I will give you that.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, for those of you who can't see, just take my word for it. It does look good.
It's baby and sky blue.
Oh, looks lavender from the camera.
It doesn't matter, but yeah, I just like to see something like that come back. Obviously it's so bad, so it's so bad that it makes it good. We don't have stuff like that anymore, and it's good that everyone puts in the effort, especially entertainment. But once in the blue, give us something like that. Obviously, I wouldn't put like money for it. I wouldn't play I don't pay full price for any games, so I obviously wouldn't pay money on that. At most, I'll do like $1. But I think we need the demo release at least. We need something so bad, like a demo. At the very least, we need the demo to come back.
I'm not going to say whether I agree or I disagree. All I will say is that I will agree to hear you out.
Thank you. Is there any other games that you would like to talk about? So we could kind of get this NBA Live Elite stench out of here.
No, I think I got everything from my list.
So I think it's not really a specific game. It's just kind of something like BMX games. We don't really see stuff like that anymore, like skateboarding, biking, snowboarding. It would just be cool to see, and for fans of those games, just to have something again. Because when was the last time? I think Skate 4 is the last time a game in that kind of genre came out. And also, Racing Gears Advance. It was a Game Boy Advance game, and it's just like a racing game. And it had real life licensed to cars like Dodge, Lotus, Chevrolet. It was just really fun to see. But that's kind of it. I'm telling you, NBA Live though. I'm still pushing on that. Give us the demo again. Make us laugh. In a time like this, in a year so bad as 2020, we need to laugh it off by releasing a 10-year anniversary of NBA Elite 11.
Okay, we are almost 2 months into 2021, so your grace period on still thinking it's 2020 is about to expire.
Yeah, in my defense, I was taking a blow today when I found out 2015 was 6 years ago. But we still just give us the game, EA. You have nothing to lose at this point.
Right here, I was planning just to sneak in a remark about how, yeah, of course, it's like expressing my remorse for the niche follow of the extreme sport video games that haven't gotten that. But you just had to take that away from me, so I took it back. But with that, any last words?
No, I got nothing.
Yeah, I realize how dark that sounded in hindsight. So let's just end the episode right here. Thank you so much for listening to us and bearing with us on this rather unusual episode. If you have any questions, comments, or something you want us to talk about, you can always email us at twofanspodcast@gmail.com. So until next time. No, not until next time, because we do this every single day, Monday through Thursday, on Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. Man, my outro game has been off this week. Let's hope that improves next week. But now, until next time, we will talk to you then.